So you come from this place of just, and people today wouldn't understand that, but that was just intense stardom.
I know.
Where it was just like,
It's very hard to convey to, I think, today's youth, because the world has changed so much.
Yes.
You have so much access to images, but in those days, when you only had magazines, you had
Right.
no internet, definitely no social media. No phone. Our phones were attached to the wall. I have to explain that to my kids.
Right.
Sufi Soleil, the phone was attached to the wall. They're like, what? Like my 6-year-old are side-eyeing me. So it was such a different world. There wasn't the exposure. So just to give context, when you're, I don't want to put it this way because believe me, I'm not, it's not that I think I'm great. It was a time and a place. It was timing. It wasn't about me. It was about destiny. But imagine, someone has explained this to me. Imagine you're living in a black and white world. And then all of a sudden, this red swimsuit shows up. Because hard to explain to kids today, but nobody in India, or very few people in India, had seen an image like that. I was in this low-cut Baywatch type red swimsuit,
Right.
and that just created like an overnight. I just became famous off of that.
oh, come on.
No, but that was the initial thing, right? And then obviously I built on that. But isn't it surreal how the world has changed?
No, but I wanna get into that, and you're writing this off as it's just timing. But you got that fame, and what did it take, right? And you've talked about the hustle, you've talked about it, but what was it? What drove you, and how hard was it, to be there, to maintain it? Because again, you have people who want to be famous, who want to be successful. What was the hustle for you, and what was that life like? Because that must have been that, that drive.
It's interesting because we didn't even have the word hustle when I was hustling,
Right.
actually, in
Right.
Bombay in the 90s. And I landed up on my own. I was 16 years old, and I'd come to Bombay, and I really didn't know anyone except for Maureen Wadia, who had launched me at that time on the cover of her magazine. And I was doing Bombay dyeing ads, which was a big deal in those days. And I had to make my way. But honestly, it was a sense of curiosity and wonder about the world
Right.
that drove me. It was a much more innocent time. I honestly can't say that I was purely driven by money or commerce. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, and the world has changed. And I think a young woman must make her way in the world and must earn her own money. But those conversations were not being had when I was 16 in 1991. And so it wasn't so much money, because I was making this money for what I thought was like, why are they paying me
Right.
to stand in front of a camera? Wow, and they're paying me good money, and they're flying me first class everywhere. So everything felt like surreal, like I'd walked into an alternative reality, right? And so that happened for a while. But what drove me was curiosity. I did like the money after a while. I did like the independence. And I want to say this maybe also to young women today. Hustle, yes.
Right.
Hustle to fulfill your dream. Don't ever lose your sense of wonder while you're doing it. That should be your barometer. If while you're hustling, you can't take a moment to stand back, check in, and say, am I on the right track? Do I still love this? But also, is this fulfilling me? Like, is my daily life fulfilling me? Because life is made in the day-to-day, not in the big wins. Life is not made in the big wins. I promise you. I can tell, like, from my life experience. And
I love
many
that. I
women.
love that, actually.
Life and success is not the big wins. It's the daily, it's the resilience of the every single day. It's that, like, keep going, fasawing, like just getting up every day and showing up. So if you can show up every day with a sense of wonder and curiosity and tact, you are protecting your spirit. It's like cotton wool for your spirit. So your spirit is still in there, you know, an active part of your hustle. So I would love to see spirit brought into hustle.
I love that.
And I don't know any other way except constantly checking in. Being
Constantly
tuned in.
asking yourself.
Asking yourself, and you'll feel it. Like you feel it in your body.
Right.
And again, being still curious, still, you know, not losing yourself. And the other thing is, and I reflected on this myself, when we're looking at social media has taught us how to curate our lives.
Right.
And we're unconsciously curating our lives in such a way to please others. But what do you love? Are you curating your life to please yourself? Like in your day, if you've been hustling all day, like wherever, Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore, Indore, all over India. And I love this generation going out there and making their dreams happen. But if you're hustling all day and at the end of the day, you're like, I need some quiet space. I need to go home and I need to light a candle and I need to have a good meal. But social media demands that you go out and have drinks with your friends so that you have something to post, so that you can say, yay, today was a win. How does that help you? How does that help your spirit? And how does that help you get up in the morning? So you have to ask yourself, like for some people, that's the way that they de-stress.
Right.
That's fine, but not for everyone. But if you're feeling that pressure to do things that are not aligned with who you are and are taking away, draining your energy, stop. It's easy. Just stop. Well, it's not easy. It's not easy. You have to step back. And this is and I'm only bringing this up because I started doing this.
Right.
And I'm 53. I'm an auntie and I'm doing it. And I'm not on social media all the time. But social media is kind of, it's molding us in such insidious ways.
Absolutely.
On so many levels that's why you also have to like step away, but look at like, am I doing this for my taste and my well-being, or am I doing it for the gram?